Hello, everyone. Welcome to the King of Anime podcast, the podcast in which we talk about weekly anime. Introduce yourself, co-hosts.
It is I, everything animated.
All right.
Oh, okay. It is I, Sasuke the Savage. I almost died. I'm not gonna lie. I took a shot and I almost just died. That would have been bad for business.
I'd say so.
Yeah, no, I agree. So if you don't already know what this show is all about, each week we've locked in 4 anime, and well, we have a couple rules. If, let's say, me and EA kill something, or it just gets 2 kills, the show goes away forever. We don't have to talk about it on the show anymore. And if things get 2 or more passes, it stays on the show. If there's a tie, it's going to you, the viewer, to pick which one dies, and the other one will live. So, with that being said, we got a packed show. You might as well just go ahead and get into this. Let's talk about Oresuki. This is one of the shows, I think EA locked this one?
I did.
Yes.
And I'm so glad I did.
Yeah. And so, well, alright, let's talk about this. Oresuki, Episode 3, I Was Meeting You. Joro is confronted for trying to do for all those things he did to all those girls, but it turns out that Sunchan, or Oga or whatever, was actually trying to set him up all along. He wasn't his best friend. And it also turns out that the girl with the glasses on is actually the hot one with the big boobs.
Yes.
You guys wanted to talk about this show, so I'm going to let you guys talk about it. Floor is to you guys.
All right. I'll just make it short and sweet because I know Sasuke's got a lot to say. So, yeah, these first 3 episodes of this show have been amazing, like, to say the least. To be honest, I randomly picked this show just because I saw the cover and I saw the genre. I'm like, oh, comedy. All right, let's do this. And I was very pleasantly surprised. I love Joro. I love all was it Pansy?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, Pansy, yeah.
Yeah, Pansy. Pansy, Himura. How do you say her name? Himura. the friend, the childhood friend, and Cosmos.
Oh, Himiwari.
Sorry. Okay, thank you. Himiwari and Cosmos. Yeah. All of these are really good characters. It is so funny. The first 3 episodes, I haven't laughed so hard in a good while when it comes to anime. Not since like Konosuba. It's The Bench. I swear to God, The Bench. And if you haven't seen it, you don't know what I'm talking about. But if you have seen it, you know what I'm talking about when I say The Bench. And it's just really. This is a really fun show, really fun series, very strong 3 episodes. And I'm at the point, and I'm curious right now where they're even going to take it now, because it almost feels like an arc has completed in a sense. So yeah, I really recommend this show to anybody. How does Pansy hide them boobs, by the way? Did she just tape them down?
It was bandages. That's what she was using.
I mean, that has to be painful, I would assume, for women. But anyway, that's all I gotta say about it for now.
Yeah, I mean, I like Oresuki because it had this repetitive like gag. Like, it was like multiple gags going on too. It was the whole bench thing, and it was like how people would approach Joro. It started with Himiwari, how like they kept saying like one phrase that like stayed constant throughout the whole thing. It even extended to his other friend, Sunshine, who was like the worst friend ever.
Seriously.
Like, I just want to say, he's a bad guy. And the way in the 3rd episode, when he got figured out by Pansy exposed him, and then he was like, well, there's nobody here, so do you know what I'm going to do to you? I was like, wait, what is going on? It's like, what type of show am I watching now? Like, what was he going to do if Joro wasn't there, but that's beside the point. I really like how like Joro wasn't this generic MC. He he was plotting to take one of the girls. If he didn't like that he had to be the wingman, but then he figured, oh well, at least I'll get one of them if obviously one fails. But then that didn't work. So I just like how he just called them all out. It was a twist I wasn't expecting from the first episode.
Yeah, it was really fun. That's the part that made me laugh the most because it did have a repetitiveness, but in a good way. Obviously, then the bench. I'm trying to remember the scene where Joro's just trying to be a good wingman and he's trying to lead it, and both these women just don't know how to take hints or and they just like stumble over their words.
Oh yeah,
and he's just like, oh, you idiot. So he has to fix it up. And then the other one where they were talking about the same stupid baseball game. It's like, how many people were at this baseball game?
They were like on different sides of film
Yeah.
while he was crying. Looks like everybody seen him crying. He just didn't know it.
He's like, I was on the east side. I was on the west side. I was on the south side. I'm like, oh my god. Shit like that was hilarious.
All right. Is that it?
I mean, oh no, what are you gonna say?
I don't like this show.
What?
I don't like
you're lying. You're lying.
No, I found this a lot of this comedy very cringeworthy and been there, done that.
Been there, done that.
Yeah. This is I had from the first episode, I immediately knew that she was going to be hot all along. Knew it. And the reveal was completely ridiculous. She basically gets naked for him, and not only does she get naked for him, he's like, I still hate you. Pfft, please, come on. You're the main character. She's kind of a sort of main character, so you're gonna get together anyways. It's felt very forced. Some of the jokes were funny in the first couple episodes. Second episode in particular, I think, is the strongest one. Otherwise, this is a completely average show. I do not hate watching it, I guess. I just felt it's mediocre, and I've seen this a lot. It's the typical over the top Japanese rom-com. So
I'm surprised. I am shocked. No, I should have known. You were so quiet.
Yeah, I didn't want to color your guys' opinion.
I was literally like, too quiet. Something's not right here.
I hate the line at the end where she's like, I get lonely and need a lot of affection.
There's a lot of women that are like that.
This is like so like in the realm of like made for a certain audience. I'm forgetting the phrasing, but is this like a light based off a light novel? I would not be surprised. Also,
it definitely is. With that long name.
Yep, it's a light novel, and it's also a manga, Shonen Jump.
This feels just like somebody read or saw Snafu and was like, I'm gonna do that, but more comedy, which is totally fine. But I do not appreciate a lot of this comedy. I hate the panty shots. They're all underage. Come on. It's like I can't like. I'm not gonna say it's terrible, but it's just generic. A little too generic. I guess it's good. I guess from like a standpoint of like, is it produced well, directed? Is the voice acting done really well? Yeah. Oh, I will say one thing: whoever's doing the opening sounds like they're trying very hard, and they've done this a lot. Like they've recorded multiple songs like that, but that's not like a thing against the show. It just felt that way to me. as for like, I guess positives, none this episode. None. I don't. You guys take it away.
I don't even know what to say now.
I don't even know who you are anymore.
I don't know what to say.
Well, okay. So actually, but there's actually another thing. I will say this: there's this weird, like, sneaking suspicion I have about this show that it's gonna like go somewhere. Like, I don't know. They've set it up in such a weird way, like, where I would not be surprised if my cat keeps knocking on my door, or if, or if they, like, reveal this really cool plot, which, it is what it is. But anyways, what are we all giving this? I am courtesy passing it. We're bringing back the courtesy pass. What are you guys giving it?
Well, hell yeah, I'm passing it. I love this show.
It's actually, I think, besides of course Madoka Magica, but I think it's probably my favorite out of our lineup. So I'm passing it.
All right, cool. Let's go on to Kabuki-cho Sherlock, which is a very interesting show. Kabuki-cho Sherlock Episode 2. Why not join the Staring at Eye Mole Squad? That's a name. A bank is robbed, so Watson and Sherlock are on the case. But it won't be that simple, as Mary and Lucy are trying to solve the case before them. We're on Episode 2 so far. I know Satsuki was confused by the first episode. I was as well, but what do you guys think?
I think it's entertaining. It's definitely weird. It's very anime. I love the intro to this anime. I love just the opening song. It's really cool. But I mean, if you were to take drugs and watch this show, I guarantee you'd be tripping, because it's like, I mean, there's dudes in drag. There's a lot of gay overtones. There's not that that's bad or anything. It's just, it's very obvious. There's I don't know. Like, they're trying to make Sherlock Holmes modern. I noticed all the names are the same from the old scriptures: Sherlock, Watson, even old Moriarty. James Moriarty's in there too. So I'm just like, okay, they're sticking with that. I thought that was kind of neat.
Also, as an aside, people are mentioning Fruits Basket Season 2 trailer. Have seen it. I think Satsuki has as well, maybe. But yes.
I have not.
We'll acknowledge that.
All right, cool. But yeah, it's a weird show. It's not like anything like that's super great in my opinion so far, but it's entertaining, if to say the least. It's not boring. It keeps my attention. So I'm just like, okay, is this based off of anything?
I
other than Sherlock Holmes?
I think just Sherlock. I think it's an original.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have no clue.
Yeah, no, I agree with EA for the most part. It isn't like bad or anything. The first episode was weird, but the second episode was very much, it made me excited for the next one. Just because I want to see what they're going to continue to do. I like the setting of Kabuki-cho. It was really cool, and I like the cast of characters and how they're dressed as females. That adds a very different touch to it. I don't think many anime do that kind of thing, so to see it here was really cool. And the thing this show does really well is the vibrant colors and backgrounds. The backgrounds are phenomenal, and it makes the city feel so much more alive, living, breathing, that sort of thing. I liked it. What do you think, Satsuki?
So far I'm kind of in between. I don't know if I like the show. If I definitely don't hate it. I'll say that for sure. I just don't know, like, the tone of the series so far. It seems so wacky, and I guess I was expected, just from Sherlock being in the title, that would be more of a, even though it is a detective series, it's not like we're actually like following Sherlock and going through the clues and everything. I think that might be one complaint I do have with the series is that I don't. It feels like it doesn't know what it's trying to do so far. It does the wacky stuff, which is cool, and I would be okay with that if it would commit to that. But then it has the whole detective thing. But we never really, even though like Sherlock explains it at the very end, it's only like 2 minutes, and it feels like it's just shoehorned in there. Like we have this goal that we needed to complete by the end of the episode. It doesn't. We never like go through the clues or anything like that. It's just kind of explained to us in this type of way at the end of the episode. So I'm still I'm not confused by like the plot of the series. I'm just confused as to whether like where the series is going, I guess.
One thing I'd like to mention, and I thought was really neat. If anyone has seen Showa Rokogo Shinju, it's a really good show. Highly recommend it. He did a little Rokogo in this stuff. He told a story, and that's how he kind of explained this stuff. And I honestly would not have ever have known about that had I not seen the show prior. So I thought that was kind of neat. I was like, I know what this is. I know what this is. It's an old Japanese thing that's I mean, I don't know if it's still around anymore. It's certainly not as popular as it was back in the day. But yeah, have any of you guys seen that show?
What show is it called?
No.
Showa Genroko. It's a weird name. Like I just call it Rokogo Shinju.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's really, really good. It's a really good show. I highly recommend it. Like if you want a really good drama, that's kind of like a period piece too.
Maybe I should check it out since all of the live commenters are like, "You're a generic anime reviewer now." I'll just become even more generic. You've opened yourself up.
Do not take those comments to heart.
I'm taking them to heart, Satsuki, and I'm becoming a generic reviewer. Tune in for my first impressions video on
my left nut.
Oresuki, the anime everybody's talking about. We're gonna analyze it. Anyways, in this episode in particular, I really like the introduction of Mary and Lucy. That was pretty cool. That was like a
Mary.
It happened at the end, and John walks in and is like, "Sorry, I'm talking to your sister," and she's like, "Or I'm not her brother. I'm Lucy." I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the cat was pissed. That was Mr. Kitty in the show. Like, you stepped on my tail, and then they were both gonna come in for a beat down sandwich.
I like how they closed in on him like with the same pace. They were just like in sync.
I really like John in this adaptation, this version. He just seems so like aloof in this world, and it just makes him stand out so much.
Yeah, he's like the straight man because everybody in this district, I guess you want to call it, is like so they're so cunning. Like the little kids, especially. I fell for it too, and I should have never fell for it because like in the first episode, there was the little kid who like robbed him. But then the little kid was like on a drug coming in, like steal his money. I was like, yo, everybody in this show is just evil.
Yeah.
They just want to rob you.
I love how they tied in like what we saw in the beginning of this episode into the Sherlock's final like reveal and stuff like that. I liked how that girl who had the moles under her eyes was duped into becoming an idol. She quit her job. Well, she didn't really quit her job, but she just wanted to be. She's always wanted to be an idol, and she thinks she can still do it. And which is great because at the end, you know, we see her and she's all, you know, she's in like this get up. She looks really good. So hopefully,
and that guy said that he was gonna like be the captain of her fan club or something.
Yeah. I also like how Sherlock dressed up in this weird get up. That was like the best part of this episode.
Yeah, that's part of Sherlock. He's a master of disguise. I thought that was a really neat added thing too. Like
Yeah.
they kept with that tradition. Now he needs to smoke a freaking pipe, man, like a corncob pipe, not what you kids are thinking about.
I didn't even realize it was Sherlock for a moment because of just because it was like the way this anime is paced. It just felt like it was an actual thing, like that was happening. I was like, who is this guy? What does this have to do with anything?
Yeah, he comes in, it's like, who are you? Sherlock Holmes, damn it.
But yeah, this show's fun. After talking about it with you guys, I'm really higher up on the show than I was before. I'm glad Satsuki kept this lock, because this was an original lock for like spring or whatever. Then they pushed it back, which I'm glad they did, because they did a lot of just great production stuff with this that just looked really nice. Yeah, what are we giving this one?
Passing it.
Yeah, I think I had to pass it. I think I had to adapt to the unorthodox approach because I wasn't expecting it. That's really only my issue.
Yep, passing it as well. Ahiru no Sora. As I... Where am my nose on Ahiru no Sora? Hold on. We're having a moment today, guys.
Oh no.
Basketball boy.
Where's the music?
Ahiru no Sora, Episode 3, Momoharu's Wings. Sora is an absolute psychopath. When he is told to only get in front of his boxers, in front of the girls and play in his boxers, he decides to just go fully naked. What a mad lad.
A soldier.
I mean, this was my lock. I locked it randomly. I was just searching one night, and I was like, gotta find something. And I was like, I haven't seen a basketball anime. Whatever. Locking it. I literally locked it at random. Glad I did. The opening is by the Pillows, which is, as far as I'm aware, they've only ever done openings or any like involvement in any anime with FLCL. So it was pretty cool to see the Pillows in this. What do you guys think about the show so far?
I have but one great sentence to say of basically my thoughts overall of this show. Meh. I mean, it's literally just meh. I don't know, man. This guy is like a prodigy, and he plays really good basketball, and yet he can't fight nobody. I mean, I don't know. Maybe if he learns to run away, people won't kick his ass. I don't fucking know. But it just, I don't know. Characters are alright.
He's a dopey shonen pro tag.
Yeah, and I feel like they should have went the different route.
Yeah, they really should have.
Because if anyone has ever seen an anime basketball show, Kokoro no Basket, that's a really good show. That is one I would, if you wanted to watch something, I would recommend that show, because they handle the main characters better, in my opinion, and each character is unique. All these characters, for some reason, they want to fight, but they don't want to play basketball, even though they're on the basketball team. How did that happen? It's like, so you want to play? Yeah, I totally want to play, but no, I'm not going to play. I'm just going to fight, and I'm going to look like an old school gangster from Japan with the hairstyle and everything. You know what? You're hired. Where's the coach, by the way? I don't see a coach at all. At least Kokoro no Basket has a coach, but there's no coach.
I haven't seen a teacher at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no teachers. Everybody kicks their ass in this show, and I don't see any teacher going, "Hey, you stop that! I'm gonna call police, security, something." No, it's just, let them fuck each other up. It's just, it's totally chaos, and I don't know. And of course the cliche peeping in on the
I hate
on
that.
the girls and whatever. I was just like, how many times have we seen this? I don't know. I'm maybe I've just grown up, and I'm just like, I'm over that stuff, but I just don't care for it. I don't want to play basketball, but I'm just going to eat a bunch of food and peep on girls. Stupid character. So yeah, it's meh. Just meh.
Yeah, and I have no real attachment to this. Like I said, I literally locked it at random. I'm sort of glad I did because it's something different, and as a person who I guess this is my first basketball anime, I'm very much not impressed by this. Pretty much at no point in any of these episodes where I was like, okay, I'm really excited for the next one. So far, it's just been kind of, I feel like it's in this weird wait and see mode where I don't feel everything has been introduced enough, but they're acting like everything has like been introduced. But there's some things that needs to be explained for me. You know what this feels like? This feels like Kanata no Astra in the beginning, where they're not like explaining some small things, but instead of like weird little plot holes, it's just not enough development, just in general, of concepts and plot points. Like, it isn't confusing. It's not like if this is one of the first anime you've ever seen, I imagine you would very much like this anime. Like, it's one of those things. I don't the main dopey shonen protag Sora, like, there's some things about him that are like, okay, cool. Like, I like how he has that connection with his mother with those sneakers. That was a really cool moment, really touching moment. I like the idea of him playing in his boxers, but they took the joke a little bit too far when they made him naked. Not that there's anything like necessarily wrong with him playing basketball naked or a show doing something like that. It just felt like over the top.
Teacher to stop him.
That too. It just felt like an over the top moment that had no real substance or payoff to it, other than, hey, look, it's our dopey shonen MC protag. Which I don't actually. It's fun to make fun of dopey shonen MC protags. I don't think every one of them are terrible. Like, everybody gives Naruto shit, but like, he's okay for most of Naruto, like in Shippuden at least. So it is what it is. This, he's not bad. He's not bad, but he's not like he doesn't have some key development. He doesn't really have a personality. And that's what I think this show is lacking, just in general. It's personality and style. And I think because this thing has like 50 volumes and hundreds of chapters or whatever it has, it's a manga version, I obviously think that's going to happen down the road, as with every shonen-ish story, but it's one of those things, when will it happen? Because I would love for it to happen now. I really would. And in that way, it feels like Demon Slayer, where they're taking a little bit too long. I don't know. Like, I hope in the next couple episodes it does something, but like EA said, it's fine. It's meh. Like, I'm not getting mad about, like, I'm not going to be mad watching this show. Like, if we're going to kill this show, I'm pretty sure it's going out with a whimper. It's just going to be like, another episode of Airu no Sora is okay, meh, killing it. Like, it's going to be one of those things. Satsuki, what do you think?
This show is kind of generic on two fronts. It's generic on the sports genre aspect, because I've seen stuff like this where, you know, you have the underdogs and even the delinquent thing. Now, another movie I can draw from it. Is Coach Carter, like, where you have a whole bunch of misfits. It's a great movie. And then you have them bring them together. You know, they weren't really basketball players before, but you know, you had somebody who, in this case, is Sora. You had like a central figure who brought them all together. And then it's generic on the front of being just an anime, because then you have Sora, who he's like the protagonist who just, no, he's going to try his best despite all the odds, and then it's all going to work out in the end. And I feel like that's the direction it's going to go. Will it deviate from that? I'm not entirely sure, but the thing is, it's like being generic isn't inherently bad, but when you bring anime in front of like me, who's like a jaded anime fan, like granted, I haven't watched like over 1,000 anime or anything like that, but because I've seen this before done better, it's it's kind of like I'm more down on it. I do think that like what you guys said, it's just meh. It's nothing bad about it. It's nothing in the story so far where I see something as a big flaw. It's just because I've seen it before, I don't really feel super connected to it. I'm not invested in it so far. And you can argue sometimes, like, as much as some things have like huge flaws, at the very least, you have a lot to talk about and you can hate on it. It might be worse to feel nothing about an anime than to feel like hatred towards an anime.
That's true.
In that sense. And I feel like I'm in between with the show, which is if I feel nothing, then you didn't really accomplish anything.
Yeah.
Well said.
I would, to give this anime some slack, because we are pooping on it a little. Well, we're not really pooping on it, but like we're just kind of talking about it plainly. I will say, for what it's worth, they have something cool they could do with these characters. Like, I don't hate any of these characters. I like the thought and the way they're trying to portray the Afro guy. I don't like the peeking on the girls thing. That just feels like straight out of something from the 80s or early 90s.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
I'm so glad you finished that sentence. I thought you were going to say, "I like the thought," and then
I like the thoughts.
I like the concept of the PP Tom, just not the execution.
No, not that. Yeah, I don't like that at all. I like him. I like the idea of him as a character being this very goofy guy who has like this wisdom, like this misplaced wisdom or something like that, where he just comes out of nowhere and he's like, Sora, shooting a 3-pointer is hard. Maybe you should, instead of doing 1,000 shots a day, do 1,500. Like, just weird stuff, goofy stuff. Momoharu as well. He has potential to be this pretty sympathetic figure if they do a story with him that's like, yeah, he used to be a part of a gang. He's kind of like this delinquent, but he's going to prove himself wrong because of Sora and how Sora applies himself. And they could do even more with Sora. They don't have to do much with Sora, actually, but they could do something with him, with that girl. That would be pretty cool. So we can like get interaction with the girl, because we don't know really who the girl is at this point. She's just a girl. And through that, we can get development for Sora as well. 2 birds with 1 stone. I think maybe they're going with that. I don't know. We'll see. I'm passing it. I don't hate watching it. It's one of those things where it's like, usually at the beginning of a King of Anime cycle, we pass things because we pass them, and I feel like this is just, another generic King of Anime pass. Much like how this is another generic anime.
Yeah.
I can't give it no second chance. I'm killing it.
Damn, it's up to me.
I don't even think you got a first chance, EA. What are you talking about?
Well, that is true. I'm a harsh critic. What can I say?
No, it's fine. Not giving you shit or anything.
No, we be shitting on this anime.
What to do? I think I'll go to pass it as well. I just want to see more. I feel like it is predictable. Like with Momoharu, I feel like he's obviously going to not be a delinquent anymore. He's going to quit, all the violent stuff. And the same with Chiaki. I think that was his name, the Afro guy. I feel like he has like a whole bunch of talent, but he just didn't want to play for some odd reason. I feel like there is some things with these characters that are interesting. It's just that in the 3 episodes we just got hints of it. We didn't really get any reveals, and that's what really hurts it ultimately. But this is the only courtesy pass he'll get from me for sure.
I'm doing this for my contact over at HIDIVE. If you click the link in the description, you'll get 1 month totally free of HIDIVE, and you can watch Airu no Sora and make up your own opinions and start your own King of Anime podcast about Airu no Sora. Just saying. It's there.
You will always be inferior to us.
Oh God. All right.
You know how I feel, so.
Exactly. You know how EA feels. Vinland Saga. The show only gets better with each episode. Vinland Saga episode 14, The Light of Dawn. Askeladd and his men make their way across Merida, I think, and pillage a village. No options, no options left. They are forced to kill the villagers to not leave any tracks behind. So Thorkel can be like, I'm sneaking up on you.
So when I was reading the sub, I literally thought the country or the land that they were going to, I literally thought it said America.
America.
I literally read it like that. I went, wait a minute, that's not America. Oh, Mercia.
Oh yeah, that's probably what I was.
I was like, America. I just wanted to throw that out there because I just thought that was funny. But man, this episode was depressing as hell.
It was, yeah.
It was so depressing, but I mean, I liked it. It's just that, poor civilians that were just Christians. That's what they were. Poor Christians just eating their food, eating their Christian food, and just all of a sudden
they were just celebrating Christmas, and suddenly there's an attack on it.
I mean, I don't know so much about that, but it was. I mean, I liked the. I don't know if she's ever going to come back in any other episodes, but I liked. I don't even remember her name, but I liked Anne. I liked her character a lot. I
did as well.
Just from that one episode, I was like, "This is a really good character." Isn't that sad? Sometimes there's some characters that aren't even good, and they're in a whole show. But she's just in one episode, and I'm just like, "Wow, she speaks volumes." The fact that she stole something, is a Christian, has faith, even after her spoilers, family dying and everything.
No need for spoiler alerts, my friend. No need.
I'm just saying, in case someone in the chat hasn't seen it. I don't know.
That's true.
I like to think ahead, but just the whole faith, just side of it and everything is just was really neat in this episode, and I'm just like, wow, this whole episode was depressing.
I like the implementation of Anne as well in her introduction. I thought her character was awesome. Yeah, she's like afraid of the devil, but at the end, she has like her hands. Like I noticed this thing. All of the women in this episode had like really rough looking hands, and all the men had like fine looking hands. So I don't know what that meant there, but I noticed it and it was there. And
I thought all of them had the hands like that.
No, only
really?
Anne and her, I guess her mother had those hands. Everyone else, fine. But I do like, she stole, and she had this beautiful looking ring, and she hides it from her family, and it's just like a weird like it's just a story to be there, and it gets you connected, and the reason for this is because of what Askeladd does, because you have to, can't be too connected to this guy because he is still an evil person. Which is, speaking of evil, Anne is kind of happy that such evil exists, that such people will go against the word of God, and that they aren't afraid of what he could do to them, which Anne obviously very much is. So, yeah, really good episode. Yeah. I loved it. I loved it, and I loved when Askeladd shows up, because it's going to happen. From the beginning, I was like, yeah,
they're all dead.
She ain't gonna make it. But and we don't know if she's survived or not. I think this is probably the last we'll see of Anne.
She passed out in the snow and woke up like she just was totally fine. I'm like, she didn't get no frostbite or anything. She's just
Good nap.
yeah. She just took a good nap, woke up, and was like, I hope all my family are in heaven. Can't believe that there are people like that in this world to where they're not even afraid of going to hell. I love that quote. That quote is just it's so crazy and almost kind of bone chilling in a way, because there are people like that in this world.
Yeah.
That they're not afraid. I mean, regardless of what you believe, whatever your faith is, and whatnot, just the whole fact that people just can be that damn evil. It's just like, wow, they don't even care. And I think that part struck with me a lot.
But yeah, Askeladd shows up. They take all their food, round them up, and the father's like, "Please, I have a child, at least half of it that'll last us through the winter." And he's like, "Oh, don't worry. I've thought about this. I've thought about you. I've taken you into consideration. You won't have to be worrying about any winters ever again." And they kill every single person, man, woman, child. Anne is the only survivor. I don't know if she'll show back up. I don't think she will. I'm given no reason. And I think it may be more impactful if she doesn't show back up. Just because you're like, by the end, you're just like, where did Anne go? Like, what's Anne doing? She okay?
Yeah.
She survive? She die? Like,
another thing I thought was really cool in this episode was we got to see a little bit more and hear a little bit more from the priest.
Yeah.
He actually had like some, I don't know, back and forth with those other two people of Askeladd's group or whatever, and they were talking about Thor's and how he was a warrior, and that kind of like struck with him, and he was really like, what makes a true warrior? And they were talking about love at one point. I just thought that whole dialogue was just really neat. To be a true what was, I can't remember the quote, like, to be a true warrior, you don't need a sword or something.
Yeah,
Like
true
that.
warrior doesn't need a sword.
Yeah, and that's very ambiguous, but I think it can be interpreted many different ways.
Also, new opening sounds way better than the first one. I love Man with a Mission. Satsuki.
I love both.
I like the first opener better.
Me too.
I think this episode did three things. You guys already talked about it. The first thing was the whole religion thing. I think this episode was trying to tell you like I don't want to go down a rabbit hole, but it's like the veil of Christianity in particular, like, couldn't protect everybody from the atrocities that were the Vikings, because they just went in there and they don't care about, they don't have the same religion, first of all. And even if they did, they probably would not care about, the afterlife affecting what they're doing currently. So
they have
there's
Valhalla.
that. Yeah, exactly. Their whole religion, if you want to call it that, is that they are supposed to die valiantly on the battlefield. That's how they achieve their afterlife, is they fight to the death. That's like an honor for them. But then you have the part of, it reinforced the cruelty of the Vikings again, because they killed everybody on cue. And the second part is, in a weird way, you kind of can sympathize with the Vikings in some aspect, because if they did not do that, if they didn't steal all their food, they would have died in the winter, because the blizzard was, it was too cold. They were still traveling on foot, and some people were on horseback, but they had to do what they did. As bad as it was a necessity for all of them to survive, that everybody, were taken out of their homes, and they had their food robbed. So, yeah, I think that this episode did those three things. It was one of my favorite chapters in Vinland Saga, but there's still more to come.
Oh boy, can't wait.
Find out next time. Dragon Ball Z.
Rock the Dragon Ball. Sorry.
So what I'm giving this a pass. I mean,
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot. Passing it, pass definitely.
Very easy pass.
yeah. We have come to the end of the normal show, but we still got more to go with Nakama Club. But before then, everything animated. Where can they find you?
All right, let me get up close so y'all can hear me. Hey everyone, it is me, EA, also known as Everything Animated. I'm here on the YouTubes. Haven't really done a video in a while, but if you stop on by, I'll do some more ASMR stuff like this. No, I'm kidding. You can. I can't keep that up. Yeah, just come to my channel. I don't know. Maybe I'll do some. I'm watching Food Wars. Maybe I'll talk about Food Wars or something. Because that's a good show. Hey, back over to Sasuke.
That is a good show. You guys can come to my channel, and I will shower you with love, albeit delayed love, because I am a bit of a tsundere. So just got to get to know me, and you'll get the love eventually, or maybe not if you just, I don't know, if I don't like you. But yeah, that's about it. Oh yeah, I do plan to maybe possibly, don't quote me on this, don't buy into it, but I might try to review Higurashi for Halloween because I think that's one of the best horror anime that I've watched. So I want to do that. But that's it.
It's a good one.
Hi, I'm SeaTactics. You may have seen me on such channels like Anime Alley. I'm trying to think of other channels.
You've been on my channel.
Everything Animated.
Have you been on Sasuke's channel?
I have not.
Yes.
I have? Okay, I have.
Damn it.
On Sasuke the Savage. Also, you may have seen me on things like visual evaluations. That's it. Let's go over to Nakama Club.
Yeah, I gotta put my other face on.
It always like starts off with like the main show graphics, and I don't want it to do that. I don't want it to go to the slideshow immediately. Stop, OBS. Stop it.
You stop it.
No, you.
No, you.
No, you.
I'm gonna make you.
What the hell?
Vodka Magica episode 8. I was stupid. So stupid. No, that's just me saying that. I wasn't quoting.
I thought that was the name of the episode.
No, that's
so too.
No, it is. It is the name of the episode.
It is? That is a great name for the episode.
I was stupid. Oh, so stupid, yeah.
Just reminded me of Carol and Tuesday. Sayaka's soul gem becomes so unclear that she explodes and spoopy stuff, and Kyubey is revealed to be the incubator, the creator of magical girls, or in other words, witches. Are you spooked? Are you spooked?
Oh,
I'm waiting for that reveal.
I'm very spooked. So Kyubey's an asshole, right?
Yeah. Total bitch.
You called it.
I did.
Not like the end. Yeah. I don't have to watch anymore.
I mean, I kind of like, I don't know. I just had this weird feeling. I was like, total bitch. Turns out, total bitch.
I mean, you can never trust the cute little furry animal. They either are very useless, like in Bleach, or they are, they're evil.
Exactly.
Like in this show and ReZero. That freaking little thing turns into a giant killer.
Oh, I know so many things about that giant killer. So this episode, this is the fallout from the last episode where Sayaka decides to kill away the pain, so to speak. And this is kind of like, I don't know. This is probably the best episode so far. There's so many things that happen. Just they talk about the Walpurgis Nacht, which I think they may have mentioned that before.
Yes,
I
the
don't know.
final boss, basically.
Hitomi confesses her love for Kyosuke, which just Sayaka at this point is total foobar. Like she's not doing well, to say the least.
It's like, are you okay? I'm totally fine. Look at the deadness in my eyes.
Yeah, she says, like, she refers to herself as some zombie only meant to kill magical girls, to only kill these other her one job. Her sole purpose is for this one job, and yeah, and Madoka is like trying to help Sayaka, and Sayaka is just like, if you want to help, do it yourself. Do what I do, because you can't. I do better than you.
That was a great impression.
Yeah, I've been working on it.
I know this is called Madoka Magic. Sorry, I'll make this really quick and I'll get back to you. I know it's called Madoka Magica Girl and all that. We're on episode 8 and Madoka's still not magical. Well, she's a girl, but she's definitely not magical yet.
Well, we don't know if she's a girl.
That's true. You can never judge it nowadays. So it's up in the air as of if she's a girl or magical.
Did you just assume Madoka's gender?
I'm sorry, damn it. I should not have done that. YouTube, I apologize. And take it away, Sasuke.
All right, so I love this episode. I felt like it was the best episode we watched thus far. I didn't know that it revealed so much in this episode because we had to reveal that magical girls eventually turned into witches, and it was foreshadowed too. If you look at the show, the soul gems and the grief seeds look like a hollow version of the soul gems. It's like it looks like what I don't want to. It looks like a husk almost of the soul gems. So yeah, that was really interesting, and I thought the Sayaka's arc was done well because there was so many things that made her go to the dark side, and eventually by the end of the episode she turned into a witch. She had to reveal that her body was basically just manufactured. It wasn't even real, and she could just like withstand like pretty much anything as long as she had like energy. And then there was the whole Hitomi and Kyosuke thing, and it's also the fact that she felt like I guess she felt inferior to Madoka because Madoka has so much potential, as said by Kyubey, but Sayaka basically has to kill herself just to win fight. So she just felt like inferior on that front too. So it was, I thought, like a natural digression to like the point that she went to.
Kyubey ate himself.
He did.
Yeah.
He ate it like it was a midnight snack.
Yeah, it's like, I have only so many of these. Don't make me eat myself. I
love that scene.
It's so weird. Like, first I was like, can't be dead. And then it comes back, God, I just have to eat myself again.
Reminds me of Adam from Evangelion.
Does he eat himself?
No. Yes. No. No. Yes. No.
No.
Maybe.
All right then.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Yeah, that whole last scene after Homura shoots a couple holes in Kyubey. We see, or before, I guess. We see Homura in an emotional state. We see her crying, begging Madoka, which is like kind of cool, and I think like is a huge step for her character because so far she's been very cold. And then Um, now she's very emotional. She's like, Monica, you don't know how you just don't know how much people actually care for you, which I thought was pretty cool, and maybe means that now that we know that Homura is a time traveler with a DeLorean, I don't know. Maybe they had some relationship in this previous timeline. I don't know. We're gonna have to get some. So maybe Monica's ability is gonna be reading Steiner, and then we'll get the answers.
I'm sorry, what?
Else I Congru. But you've never seen Steins Gate?
Yes, I have. I just didn't know what you said. Reading Steiner?
Yeah, that's what he calls it, reading Steiner.
Like Scott Steiner? Holler
Fat
if you hear me?
asses, holla if you hear me. Woo!
The worst intro for any wrestler ever made. It's just a siren.
It works because he's Scott Steiner, though.
Yeah, I like the holler if you hear me. That's the only cool part. Everything else is just annoying. Anyway, I like Steins Gate. It's been a while since I've seen Steins Gate, obviously.
I'm in the middle of rewatching it. It's probably why I'm dropping so many references recently. But yeah. Also, magical girls, kind of witches.
Yep.
The kind of big witches.
They're like predestined to become witches as long as they don't like die early or something like mommy. So it's like it's just a matter of time before your soul gem gets too tainted and you just can't handle it and you eventually become a witch. So it's just like a cycle basically, and we don't know how it's going to end. The only anomalies we have are Homura and Madoka, because Homura has the whole time travel thing going on, and Madoka has this unlimited potential. Kyubey basically said she could become the god of the universe. But I think probably my favorite part in this episode was with Homura, where she had to talk with Sayaka, and then Sayaka was like, she was like basically like, cut the shit, just admit that you don't care for me. And Mora's like, yeah, I don't care about you, I just care about Madoka. Like, just cheer up so Madoka can feel better.
Homura, she cuts to the bone. She don't care about no Sayaka.
She don't. And she has flash bangs in her whatever,
which are stylized as fragmentation grenades for some reason, but okay.
Yeah, you gotta fool people.
I guess so.
Flashbang through the door. Call of Duty reference. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. But just so you know, you cannot reference Call of Duty on this podcast. It's illegal.
Why not?
Outlawed it.
Why not?
Hey, it isn't me. It's up. It's not my pay level, man. Not my pay grade.
Okay.
People up there, man.
What about Modern Warfare?
That's okay, I guess. Wait, is that Call of Duty?
Yes. But it's just called Modern Warfare.
Can't do it, man.
What about the original Call of Duty that was World War II and it was on PC?
Notes from the top say only mention Battlefield.
There we go.
Then I won't mention it.
Oh shit. We also got Kyoko actually being a good person.
That is
right,
true.
guys? Did that surprise you guys?
Yeah, it did me. It's like, what the hell is happening? She's not. Was she eating something?
She was.
She's always eating something, to be fair.
And she was being nice. This ain't right. I don't know what world we're living in, but I can't stand it no more.
I like the way she eats the Pringles. She drinks from it like a cup.
Yeah, I thought it was like pudding at first. I was like, wait, what? Wait, okay.
It's a weird way to eat Pringles. I'm gonna do that on a video and show you all how, well, after my diet. how impossible it is to do that.
How Kyoko eats Pringles.
Yeah, this is how Kyoko eats Pringles. Oh, just disintegrated. Yeah,
It's like a prosy divid.
yeah,
Prozed.
yeah.
Prozed.
That dude.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah. So I think we've hit the end. We've certainly hit time limit. So that means tune in next week as we talk more about Madoka Magica, more about the anime we're watching every week on King of Anime Podcast. And don't forget, Notification Squad, my friends. Notification Squad. I've become a generic anime reviewer now. I can say these things. See you guys later. Bye-bye.
Later, y'all.